Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of noise going on regarding Venezuela right now, and this may be the signal that we're looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, look what Trump posted last night on True Social at like 1 in the morning. He set off a nuclear bomb last night and then just walked away as the fire's burning behind him and continued to just post other stuff about other subjects as if he didn't just release like the Kraken on the Biden administration. So here's the video. And here's the caption. Breaking: Venezuelan president just publicly surrendered to President Trump. Maduro has now turned in state evidence against the Biden administration and is releasing proof that Biden asked the Venezuelan government to ship Tren de Aragua drug gangs into the U.S. Now, again, there's a lot of noise here, but I want to give you guys the signal. So this video, I'm not going to play it because it's in another language and the captions are very hard to follow. But obviously, I watched it like 5 times and transcribed the captions. And so I'll give you the summary. Matter of fact, there's a Breitbart article about this. Now, here's the thing. The video that was posted is not new. So if we're being told right now that Maduro surrendered to Trump, it wasn't because of this video. Maybe Trump's trying to tell us that behind the scenes, Maduro has surrendered. But this video is not a video of him surrendering. This is actually an old video from February 2025 of this year. And Breitbart did an article about it. This video is Nicolas Maduro claiming that Biden funded and moved Tren de Aragua, the foreign terrorist organization, into the U.S. So again, this was from February 21st, 2025. Socialist dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, on Thursday, claimed that the administration of former U.S. President Joe Biden helped the Tren de Aragua terrorist organization expand into the United States after establishing a foothold in Colombia. Maduro made the assertions during an official regime event and called on U.S. President Donald Trump to request reports from the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the DEA that, according to him, will allow Trump to see who financed Tren de Aragua. This is exactly what he said. Quote, "I say to President Donald Trump with respect, ask for the reports of the last 4 years from the FBI and the DEA from the offices in Colombia so that you can see, President Trump, who financed, who moved, who directed the famous Tren de Aragua, who brought it to Colombia, who brought it to the United States, and ask for the truthful reports so that you know that here in Venezuela, we defeated, dismembered, and put an end to that violent criminal group that tried to be used from Colombia with deep ties to the former Biden administration to bring terrorism to Venezuela." Now, we know that Maduro didn't end Tren de Aragua in Venezuela. That's a complete and total lie. That's why we see Trump blowing up the drug boats that are trying to bring fentanyl into the United States right now. Obviously, he's lying about that, but at the time, you have to understand the position that he was in. He was, now under the gun after the Trump administration designated Tren de Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization. He knows that he's going to be targeted. He knows that the escalation with Venezuela is going to result in him being taken out of power. So he's trying to extend an olive branch and appear as an ally to Trump. He basically said that if you look at the records, if you look at the FBI and DEA records, you'll see that Biden was the one that funded the organization and is responsible for their expansion into the United States. Now, that was 10 months ago. And now we have Trump posting this video. And I could be wrong here, but I think the message, the signal and the noise that Trump is trying to convey to us is that he's looked into the DEA records, he's looked into the FBI records, and he has the goods. He knows where the bodies are buried with the Biden admin funding and, intentionally expanding Tren de Aragua into the United States. And the reason I say that is because all the facts line up. If you look at Biden's open border policy, the catch and release policy, if you look at everything we're learning about these NGOs and how they operate and how USAID has been used to fund terrorist organizations and their expansion into the United States, we see a pattern here. And what was going on back in 2023 during the Biden admin is essentially Venezuela, Maduro released Tren de Aragua, all these prisoners. They got released, and then they started popping up all over Latin America and in the United States. So what we had was kind of like a false flag where Venezuela raided the prisons. They were trying to put on this show that they were eradicating Tren de Aragua, but what's largely believed is that Maduro secretly negotiated their escape through tunnels, and everybody important escaped. And then, shockingly, these people just start popping up here in the United States. This was during the Biden regime with the massively lax border enforcement, the catch and release policies, and now we see all this misappropriated humanitarian foreign aid, and we see all these misappropriated, abused NGOs that have been responsible and culpable for bringing terrorists into the country. And it all happened under the Biden administration. And so again, I think what Trump was trying to tell us is he knows where the bodies are buried and he's got their number. And then I had this crazy idea, and this is again just a theory, but I started to wonder if maybe this is the real reason why the seditious six and all these Democrats are calling on the military to defy Trump. They put out that video and then they keep going on the media saying that, Trump very well could in the near future give an order that's unlawful, and we want to preemptively put out this message so that we can get ahead of this thing, as if they know something is about to happen and they're trying to cause like a break in the chain of command and get the military to defy Trump. That's so bizarre to me, and it's starting to make sense because perhaps military tribunals are on the table in the near future. Just a theory, but just something I wanted to throw out there. Now, we have an announcement that's coming today at 2 p.m. from the Roosevelt Room. Trump is going to be making a massive announcement, and I have a strong feeling it has to do with Venezuela, because at 11 a.m. this morning, there's going to be a closed door, closed to the press cabinet meeting, and we don't know what they're going to discuss. We don't know what this announcement's going to be, but everything kind of points to Venezuela. We know that recently there was a reported phone call between Trump and Maduro, and he gave him an ultimatum to relinquish power in Venezuela. Trump reportedly gave Nicolas Maduro an ultimatum to relinquish power immediately during their recent call, but Venezuela's authoritarian leader declined, demanding a global amnesty for himself and allies. So Maduro refuses to step down unless Trump gives him complete and total amnesty. On Sunday, the U.S. president confirmed the call had taken place, telling reporters, "I would not say it went well or badly. It was a phone call. You can save yourself and those closest to you, but you must leave the country now," is what Trump reportedly said, offering safe passage for Maduro, his wife, and his son, only if he agreed to resign right away. However, Venezuela's president reportedly refused to step down immediately and allegedly made a series of counter demands, including worldwide immunity from prosecution and being allowed to cede political control, but keep control of the armed forces. We know that Trump has completely shut down the airspace travel in Venezuela, and we also know that the U.S. military has them surrounded. So it's only a matter of time before something big breaks here, and everybody's trying to speculate what this is really all about. People are saying it's about oil, but that can't be the case because Maduro already agreed to give up the oil to the United States. People say it's about China being in our backyard with, the fact that Venezuela has close ties to China and Russia, but Venezuela's already agreed to reduce ties with China. All the things people are saying as to why this is happening, they don't line up with fact. And so I think something much, much bigger is going on here. We know that Maduro has essentially agreed to give Trump everything that Venezuela has to offer in order to not step down from power, but Trump refuses to accept that, and he wants Maduro to step down. So something bigger is going on here, and we know two things. We know that a large portion of the fentanyl and the drugs come from Venezuela, and we also know that Venezuela is ground zero for the election fraud in at least 72 countries that use the Smartmatic Dominion machines that have been used to rig elections around the world. And we also have reports coming out recently that completely vindicate and validate everything that Sidney Powell said about elections in Venezuela following the 2020 election. And with Trump now giving us the signal that he has the goods, he has the dirt, he knows where the bodies are buried regarding the Biden admin, and allowing terrorists into this country and funding it, I think we all need to just take a step back and understand that what Trump is doing with Venezuela is massively important to national security and American interests. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section. Let me know down below what you think. And as always, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.